From his mischievous grin to his unpredictable antics, there's no denying that Loki has captured the hearts and minds of Marvel fans around the world. But what lies beneath the surface of this charismatic and enigmatic character? What drives him to be the trickster god we all know and love? And what demons lurk within his psyche? In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the mind of Marvel's most complex character. We'll explore the psychological factors that shape Loki's behavior, from his troubled upbringing to his quest for power and control. Loki is a complex and multi-dimensional character known for his cunning and mischievous behavior. In Norse mythology, he is a trickster god, associated with fire and chaos, while in the MCU, he is the charismatic and unpredictable adopted brother of Thor. He has gone through various character developments and is both a villain and anti-hero, and has become a fan favorite in the MCU. The character has been impeccably displayed by Tom Hiddleston, who has his own Disney Plus series. Both versions of Loki in Norse mythology and the Marvel Cinematic Universe share a trickster nature, shape-shifting abilities, and a complex relationship with Thor. Loki's jealousy and desire to undermine those in power cause chaos and disorder in both versions, making him a captivating and intriguing character. Whether it's manipulating the Avengers or causing trouble for the gods, Loki's cunning and mischievous nature remains consistent across both mythologies. While there are similarities between the Loki of Norse mythology and the one in the MCU, there are also significant differences. In the MCU, Loki is an alien with advanced technology rather than a magical god. His motivations and personality are more developed, and his relationships with other characters are more complex and well-rounded. Additionally, his origin story differs from the mythology, as he is an adopted son of Odin rather than the son of giants. Loki is often portrayed with negative personality traits that make him a complex and compelling character, such as deceitful. Loki is a master of deception and trickery, both in the mythology and MCU. He is adept at manipulating and deception. For example, in the movie Thor, Loki disguises himself as Odin and banishes Thor to Earth, in an attempt to seize the throne for himself. He also uses his powers of persuasion to control others, such as when he mind controls Hawkeye in Adventures. Envious. Loki is often portrayed as being jealous of others' power and status, particularly that of his adopted brother Thor. In the MCU, Loki's jealousy is similarly focused on Thor's position as heir to the throne of Asgard. This leads him to plot against Thor and ultimately attempt to seize the throne for himself. Arrogant. Loki is also known for his arrogance and overconfidence. He often underestimates his opponents and believes he is more clever than those around him. For example, in Thor Ragnarok, Loki initially believes that he has outsmarted Thor and the Grand Master, but is eventually revealed to have been played by them. This arrogance also leads him to underestimate his enemies, such as when he tries to take on the Hulk in the Avengers. Vengeful. In both mythology and the MCU, Loki is often motivated by a desire for revenge. This can be directed at specific individuals or groups, or at the world as a whole. For example, in Norse mythology, Loki is responsible for the death of Balder, a beloved god. This act of revenge leads to his eventual punishment by the other gods. In the MCU, Loki's desire for revenge is often directed at those who he feels have wronged him, such as Odin or Thor. This desire for revenge also motivates him to work with the villain Thanos in Avengers: Infinity War. Unpredictable. He is a character who is capable of switching loyalties and changing his plans at a moment's notice, making him difficult to predict and even more dangerous. For example, in Thor Ragnarok, Loki is initially shown to be aligned with the villainous Hela and is working with her to conquer Asgard. However, he ultimately switches sides and helps Thor and other Asgardians to defeat her. Loki's unpredictability is an important aspect of his character in the MCU, as it adds to his overall sense of danger and also keeps the audience guessing about his true intentions. But he also possesses several positive sides that make him a layered and multidimensional character, such as intelligent. Loki is a highly intelligent character, both in mythology and in the MCU. He is a skilled tactician and strategist who is able to plan and execute complex schemes to achieve his goals. For example, in Norse mythology, Loki is able to outwit the other gods on several occasions, such as when he tricks the giant Thiazi into building the walls of Asgard. In the MCU, Loki uses his intelligence to manipulate others and gain power, such as when he impersonates Odin in Thor Ragnarok. Charismatic. Loki is also a charismatic character who's able to charm and persuade others. He has a way with words and is able to convince others to follow him, even when his plans may be dangerous or unethical. For example, in the MCU, Loki is able to manipulate his way into becoming the ruler of Asgard in Thor, the Dark World, by persuading others to follow him. He is also able to win over his allies in the Avengers despite their initial distrust of him. Protective. While Loki may have a complicated relationship with his family and allies, he is also capable of being protective of those he cares about. He has shown loyalty and devotion to his mother, Frigga, as well as his adoptive brother Thor. For example, in the MCU, Loki sacrifices himself to save Thor and the people of Asgard in Thor Ragnarok. He also works with Thor to defeat the villain Hela and protect their home world. Witty. Loki in the MCU is often portrayed as being witty and clever. He has a sharp tongue and is quick to come up with clever remarks or insults, particularly in his interactions with other characters like Thor or the Avengers. For example, in The Avengers, when Iron Man asks if Loki plans to just lie there and let us go, after being defeated, Loki responds, "If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now." This quick-witted response shows his ability to use humor to deflect from tense situations and also showcases his intelligence and charisma. If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that Loki is one of the most complex and interesting characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's not your typical one-dimensional archetype villain or hero, but rather a character with multiple layers and motivations. And let's be real, we have Tom Hiddleston to thank for that. His portrayal of Loki is nothing short of phenomenal, bringing the character to life in a way that's both captivating and nuanced. Hiddleston manages to showcase Loki's vulnerability, charm, wit, and cunning all at once, making him one of the most dynamic characters in the MCU. While Loki is initially introduced as a villain in the first Thor movie and the Avengers, his character evolves over time. He becomes more nuanced, more complex, and more relatable as we see different facets of his personality. In Thor Ragnarok, we see him team up with his brother Thor to save Asgard, and in the Disney Plus series Loki, we see him confront his own identity and the consequences of his actions. However, despite his growth and development, Loki remains a tragic character. His past actions and choices have left him with deep wounds and regrets, and his desire for power and control continues to haunt him. His struggles with his identity and his place in the world are a poignant reminder of the human experience, and his journey toward redemption offers hope that even the most flawed individuals can find a path to redemption. Through Loki's story, the MCU has explored complex themes such as identity, power, and redemption, offering a compelling and thought-provoking portrayal of a character who is both flawed and relatable. Loki's journey reminds us that even the most troubled and damaged individuals can find a way to grow and change, and that there is always hope for redemption and a better future. Loki's popularity can be attributed to his relatability and his journey of self-discovery and redemption. Despite being a god with immense power, he struggles with his own insecurities and flaws, making him a more human, vulnerable, and relatable character. Loki's journey toward redemption is also inspiring, as he shows that even those who have made mistakes and caused harm can learn from their past and become better people. This resonates with audiences and reminds them that everyone has the potential for growth and change, no matter how flawed they may be. The MCU has transformed Loki from a one-dimensional trickster god into a multifaceted and conflicted character with desires for acceptance, power, and understanding. His relationships with Thor and Mobius, vulnerability, and inner turmoil add depth and poignancy to his character. Now we want to hear from you. Who is your favorite character in the MCU and why? Do you relate to Loki's struggles with identity and redemption? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all things MCU. And if you want to learn more about other characters in the MCU, let us know in the comments section. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.